Welcome back to another What Sold Weekend Edition video. These are my sales from Friday, June 13th until Monday, June 16th, 2025. So let's jump into what sold on eBay. All right, first thing is a Pier 1 Halloween black glitter. Say that 10 times fast. I can't even say it once. Glitter cat picket fence. It's a tabletop kind of like decor. This sold for $15 plus shipping. I have two left. Those I have had for a while. They came from a local contact that I have. Next is a pair of Fabletics high-waisted lace-up leggings. I don't remember where these came from. These are new with tags though, and they sold for a good price. They sold for $29.99 plus shipping. I feel like that's a good price for Fabletics. Next is a Lynn Chase leopard lazuli dinner plate. This sold for $79.99. I have one left in this particular pattern. I think I got these in the on my Massachusetts trip last summer. I know I got 3 different plates. 2 of them were the same. One of them was different. That one sold already. And like I said, I have one left. But yeah, this plate sold for $79.99 plus shipping. That is a fantastic price. Next is an NS Gustin adorable sleeping calico cat. This went to a viewer, Arlene. Arlene, thank you for your purchase. This sold for $23 plus shipping. Next, I sold an OttLight Wellness Series LED sanitizing lamp, craft lamp. This sold for $24 plus shipping. This came from a rummage sale maybe about a month ago. It was during a town-wide. It was in a video. It was during a town-wide, but it was at the end of the garage sale day. I stopped in the church to see if there was anything left, and I found a few things. Next is an IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye cream. This sold for $23 with free shipping. I have 6 left of these. I had multiple quantities. Then I sold also from a rummage sale this El Palomar Mexico round platter. This sold for $29.99 plus shipping. And then to Connie, who is a viewer, I sold a vintage copper jack-o'-lantern pot. This sold for, oh boy, what did this sell for? That sold for $19.99 plus shipping. She also purchased these Tom's mules, Nova mules. These were a recent pickup. Those also sold for $19.99. And then she purchased the Annalise rhodium plated pink earrings that I purchased. These were in a recent flea market video. These sold for $12. I love those earrings. It's another thing I almost kept for myself, but then I didn't. And then she also purchased this Women's Talbots denim jacket for a best offer of $35 plus shipping. So thank you for your purchases, Connie. Much appreciated. All right, then I sold a Pokemon Eevee plush. This sold for $35 plus shipping. I have one left of these. These were like Japanese imports. I picked several of these up last fall, I believe it was, at a yard sale in different characters and stuff. All right, and then I sold a Cacique yellow balconette bra. This sold for $20 on best offer plus shipping. Next is a Lug Mini Puddle Jumper travel bag. This sold for $49 plus shipping. It was also from a local contact that I have. Next is a Disney Store Still Grumpy coffee mug. This sold for $12.99 plus shipping. That I've had for a while. And then we have 2 Murano art glass birds. These sold for $39.99 plus shipping. I know these were a very recent pickup in a recent video, but I cannot tell you where I got these. I'm kind of blanking on that. I can't remember if it was a yard sale or a rummage. It's so weird how some things I can remember and then others I can't. Then from a rummage, I sold these fabric scraps for quilting. These sold for $14.99 with free shipping. And then also, now to a viewer, Shirley, thank you for your purchases. She purchased a couple items. The first is this vintage Nachman Bamberg crystal bowl. This came from an estate sale. It sold for $45 plus shipping. She also purchased this vintage Eldrith pottery salt glazed mixing bowl, dough bowl. This I took a best offer of $70 plus shipping on. This did not come from that large pottery sale. This came from somewhere else, and I can't remember where that came from either, but I'm going to say it might have been a yard sale. I could be wrong, though. It might have been an estate sale or something. And Shirley also purchased these Flourish natural wood Easter eggs. These came from a yard sale. Those were $13 plus shipping. So thank you for your purchases, Shirley. Much appreciated. I hope you love your items. Then I sold a Bagolini navy blue crossbody bag. This sold for $17.99 plus shipping. Then I sold a pair of Saucony Excursion women's trail running sneakers. These were a recent flea market pickup about 2 weekends ago. And these sold for $59.99 plus shipping. This was a pickup actually after I went in yesterday's video. I went to the Lions Club flea market. Well, after that, I did a quick pop in at a different flea market where I really didn't find much of anything. I didn't film there, but I did pick up these sneakers. That was one of the items. I think maybe I got 2 items there, and this was one of the items. Maybe I only got these. I don't really remember. But anyway, that's where they came from. Next is a set of 2 rare vintage Mary Mushroom kitchen tile wall hangings or trivets, whichever. These sold for $79.99 plus shipping. These came from an estate sale on the very last day. The very last day, and I think the last couple hours. So that was a really, really good pickup. Next is a Michael Kors striped shirt. I had 2 of these. This is the last one to sell. This sold for $19.99 plus shipping. This was a kind of like a bulk buy. These came out of a pallet I did like years ago, a long time ago. All right. Next to Lisa, who is a viewer, she purchased this I can't speak. A vintage Lennox Winter Greetings birdhouse ornament. This sold for $16. And she also purchased this folio fused art glass sun catcher for $18 plus shipping. So Lisa, thank you for your purchases. Your items are on their way. I love that sun catcher. It's so cute. Next, I sold the Jim Beam key ring, keychain, key fob, whatever you want to call it. I have 9 left of these. I had 10 of them. Actually, I think I had 11. I think this is the second one to sell. These sold for $9.95 with free shipping, and I've had that for a while. I've had it for a little while. Next is another El Palomar Ken Edwards Mexican pottery piece. Also the same place. I picked it up the same place I picked up the platter at a rummage sale back in February. This sold for $18 plus shipping. Then I sold a Mats Jonasson lead crystal wolf sculpture. This sold for $85 plus shipping. Next is an Argyl M&M's racing car. This sold for $9.99 with free shipping. Then I sold, which, it's not a huge profit, $9.99 free shipping, but that did ship, I believe, at the 4-ounce rate in a poly or a bubble mailer. So, not too bad. I didn't have a lot into that. I didn't make a whole lot, but I didn't have a lot into it. Next, I sold this Barbie Curvy Fashionista doll. This sold for $16.99 with free shipping. And again, this, because it's not in a box, it's in like a plastic like zip bag. So I feel perfectly safe shipping that in a bubble mailer, which reduces the shipping cost, of course. So I do have free shipping on that, but you know, it costs about, you know, about $5 to ship that. So, not a crazy profit, but a profit at the end of the day, and super easy to list, easy to ship, you know, all that. So I will sell things like that when it makes sense for me to do so. Next is a Bath and Body Works lantern wallflowers plug-in. This sold for $19.99 plus shipping, and that one is used too. Next is a pair of Echo Off-Road Nubuck sandals. These I picked up at the Goodwill. I actually, after I stopped filming the day when I was finding all of the Pottery Barn stuff, after I stopped filming and I was on my way to check out, I saw those and I was like, oh, I'm going to get them. So yeah, they sold pretty fast for $34.99 plus shipping. Next is a lot of crossed Badlands comic books. I have no clue about comic books. These were they were like kind of like wrapped. They were kind of like sealed, but they had a couple of like red marks on the edge of like the bag. I don't really know. And I really don't care. I really did not want to put a lot of time or energy into these, but I got them right down the street from my warehouse one day, like a yard sale that I just kind of saw the sign for and popped in, and I picked this whole lot up for very cheap. So kind of, you know, it was whatever. So I listed them $39.99. I didn't research, you know, any of the additions or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to blow them out, which I did. They sold pretty fast. So yeah, $39.99 plus shipping. Next is a Fiesta Ware turquoise teapot. This sold for $39.99 plus shipping. That was a fairly recent pickup. Then I sold 3 Longaberger reindeer appetizer plates. These sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Next is a 31 thermal tote. This sold for $27 with free shipping. That came from the lot I picked up at an indoor flea market a couple years ago. Next is a Coach Tyler handbag in burgundy. This was missing the additional shoulder strap. It still had the handles, but it was missing like the, you know, what you could use for a crossbody or whatever. But it sold for $45 plus shipping. That was a flea market pickup this season. Next is and this buyer purchased both of these. She purchased this Bordalo Pinheiro Frog Service vegetable serving bowl, and she also purchased these soup bowls for a total of $50 plus shipping. And then we have 4 Pfaltzgraff Satin Rally Place Oval Soup Spoons. This buyer purchased all 3 lots that I had for a total of $50.97 plus shipping. And then I sold this pair of Hokas. These were the ones that I picked up a few weeks ago at a yard sale, and one was missing the insole. I thought they were both missing the insole, but once I got a better look at them, only one of them was missing the insole for some reason or another. Otherwise, they're in pretty darn good shape. So I just listed them, priced them to sell at $23 plus shipping, and they sold pretty quickly. And then lastly, we have a pair of Touchstone crystal Swarovski Lulu earrings. These sold for $25 plus shipping, and these were a recent flea market pickup. So yeah, pretty good sales this weekend. Lots of fun stuff. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up, guys. I still have a lot that I have to do today. My mom has a surgery this week, so it is going to be a busy week for me. Let's just put it that way. Also, quick update on Max again for any of you that are interested. He had more blood work over the weekend, and his albumin levels have gone up again a little tiny bit, not a lot, not where they need to be yet, but they are, you know, in that upward trajectory, which is great because that's what it needs to do. They need the levels need to go up. 2.7 is where he at least needs to be, and he is at 2.3 right now. So we are getting there. We're getting there. I do have to take him back next week again. And hopefully there's more improvement. If not, we are going to have to adjust some of his medications. So I'm hoping that we don't have to do that because, you know, he does have a little bit of side effects, such as some restlessness and stuff like that. So we'll see, guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a busy week. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of listing done or anything like that. Probably until the following week, but we'll see what I can do. Hope you guys have a great week, and that's going to wrap up this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.